Welcome to Sales Mavericks and Marketing Rebels, the show where bold business owners, savvy entrepreneurs, and sharp thought leaders push boundaries, challenge conventions, and redefine success in sales and marketing. And now your hosts, Nicholas Loise and Marco Salinas.
Hey there, it is Nick Loise and my partner in crime, Marco Salinas, on for this edition of Sales Mavericks and Marketing Rebels. Has all of our episodes are brought to you by the great folks at Pina Colada Media. If you are thinking about having a podcast, you got to check them out. Reach out to Pina Colada Media. Hey, Marco, I see you're sporting the Houston Oilers. Is that what you're wearing today?
That's the Houston Oilers. Yes, it is. One of my all-time favorites.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
We're sitting here in October. We're going to be talking about Halloween and all things Halloween and using promotions, especially holiday promotions, and the importance of that. But let's talk a little baseball, right? So, I mean, if you are Major League Baseball, you are salivating the fact that it's the Yankees and the Dodgers, the two biggest media markets in the United States, maybe even the world.
That's right.
And you got the baseball. You got it. We thought we were gonna have a crosstown classic. It didn't really happen, but we kind of got this going.
That's right. Yeah. This is like the all-American baseball setup, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
These two teams right here. I mean, this is as America as it gets when it comes to our favorite pastime here, our favorite pastime sport. And I just love when the big giants like that, the big old school giant names come together. It just that's what gets the baseball love juices flowing, you know?
Well, I thought it was interesting to me the amount of that payroll of the New York Yankees, and they haven't been in a World Series. I think it's 16 years. I mean, I'm Chicago Cubs as we're sitting here. We do one every 100 years, but we don't spend like they do. So I thought that was amazing.
That's right.
It'll be a lot of good baseball, right? So we're sitting here. I think the first game starts tonight or tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think
releasing
so.
This.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. We're in the throes of college football. Your dear friends in Texas didn't like the call, so they decided to take matters into their own hands and throw water bottles onto the field. I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't think it's good for the future of the sport. But
yeah, probably not. Yep.
I mean, we'll see. And then we also got football and basketball is starting and hockey's in the throw. So we got a lot of sports stuff. The sports people out there, pay attention to your wife, right? Don't just watch the game. Buy her some flowers. Take her out to nice dinner. But I understand as a sports fan, we're glued. We're glued on all TV sets here at our house here.
Yeah, you got to kind of pre-purchase those buying credits, right? By making sure the wife is covered first.
You do. Very smart man. All right. Well, here we are. It is, according to my clock, it is October 25th. And we are coming up to what is fast becoming one of the largest marketing events going on.
Yeah.
It's not the Super Bowl. That's a big marketing event. It's not Christmas, huge marketing event. It's not the Hallmark countdown to Christmas shows. That's a huge marketing event. It is Halloween. Halloween is, if you as a marketer or a salesperson are not using Halloween to your advantage, you're missing the boat because it is huge. You got, Marco, I think you got a prop. Do you want to show or do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite products here is
one of your secret weapons, say.
That's right. This is courtesy of the old folks down at what is formerly known as GKIC.
Yeah.
But this is one of the smaller little micro packages, so to speak, called Holiday Promotion Swipe File and CD. And the thing is just covered with all kinds of cool examples and obviously again swipe files of different types of things. Now this is all things holiday promotion, which brings up a good point. Like we're going in deep right now on the subject of Halloween, but you know there's others throughout the year, but today we're gonna kind of hone in on this, you know, this hot topic which is right ahead of us here, which is October the 31st, the spookiest one of all.
The spookiest one. Yeah.
I'm just blown away. I'm just blown away, Nick, with the amount of money that just comes out of this one holiday alone.
Can we talk a little bit about that, and then let's talk about how do you use Halloween to your advantage, right? So let's talk a little bit about the spending, if you will. This is from the internet, so it's got to be real, but this is from the National Federation of Retail. So the National Federation of Retail, 2023. There was $12.2 billion with a B spent on Halloween. $12.2 billion with a B spent on Halloween, right? Yep. 73% of households participate in Halloween-related activities.
What was that percentage again?
73.
73. Incredible.
It'd be interesting to see how many people celebrate Christmas in the United States, right? What percentage of households celebrate Christmas? Because 73%, that's a mandate. You got everybody participating in Halloween at 73%. That's pretty impressive, right?
That is
that's impressive. Up from 2022, where it was just at 69. So we got good growth, right? Be interesting to see what 2024 brings us. Per person, they are spending reached an all-time high of $108.
Wow.
That's a number.
Yep.
That's a number. Yep. The greatest spending comes on the costumes, right? Yep. But decorations crossed $3.9 billion. So almost $4 billion of that $12 billion is on decorations.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween candy is $3.6 billion.
Yep.
What do you think the number one candy is?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Reese's.
Go deeper. You got it. You're there. Peanut butter cups.
The peanut butter cups. Okay.
Yep. Reese's peanut butter cups. Very good. I wouldn't have guessed that. I actually read an article that I thought I saw that the gummy bears, gummy type things were going to overtake. But Reese's are still our favorite.
There's something subconscious in my mind that says Reese's peanut butter cups are synonymous with Halloween for some reason. So
I think you're right.
There's something going on there. The master marketers have done a good job.
They brainwashed you, right?
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
So 28% of Americans are hosting Halloween parties.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty big. That's huge.
Yeah.
And 45% of consumers plan to start shopping before October. So if you're a retailer, if you're focusing on getting a piece of that dollar, you gotta be executing in August, my guess is August and September, right? Because they're going to go into October. And 1 in 3 people celebrating plan to go to a party or an event or a haunted house, right? So there's 2/3 are going to walk around with their kids, maybe have a holiday party, like we do in our neighborhood. Everybody kind of does a potluck, and you have adult beverages, and then the kids are trading their candies, and the adults are going in to say, "Hey, give me, let me try an Almond Joy or a Reese's peanut butter cups."
That's right.
Right, but then people are going to haunted house. I mean, that's pretty impressive. There's some huge ones. Do you guys have them in?
Big time. Big time. Yep.
I mean, it's amazing how big that is. And I also read that the other group that is winning the Halloween wars is the great Americas of the world, the Six Flags of the world, the amusement parks. That they have turned those places into Halloween destinations. And so they've extended, right? Because it used to be by August and September, you were done going to the Six Flags, especially here in Chicago. It starts getting cold, right? But now they've extended and they're grabbing Halloween.
Big time. Big time. Yep.
So Reese's peanut butter cups are 22% of Americans place them as their favorite Halloween treat. Wow. What do you think number 2 is?
Oh man. Snickers?
No, candy corn.
Candy corn, of
Which I
course.
think is like, if I'm a dentist, I think we should look at not only the Halloween but then the post Halloween, which is the dentist, right, and the personal
Oh,
trainers and
that's right.
the weight loss clinics that get at it. So,
Oh my gosh, yep.
listen. So Halloween, the number one rule in marketing: enter the conversation that is going on in your prospect's mind.
Yep.
Number one rule. Number one rule of copywriting, right? If you're not putting Halloween messages, if you're not doing stuff that is Halloween orientated for this next couple weeks, right? And we should talk about Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving's coming up. So we want to get in front of the curve on that. You need to be talking about this stuff. You need to be going into your marketing. And you use this little book that GKC did, which is a great, I don't even know if you can get the product anymore. Look on, go to Magnetic Marketing. We'll put a link in the show notes for people, but also, if not, then check eBay or something for this product. And I'm not taking anybody out of Dan or Russell Brunson's hands. If they don't sell it, I want people to get it, because it is a good product. In that product, I think there is it's called Swipe and Deploy, people. So look at these ideas and use them. One of the things, so listen, if you're a B2B, how do you use this if you're a B2B? Let's talk from a B2C guys figure this out, right? They know how to do these types of things. But B2B. So B2B, if you have everybody sending Christmas cards, you are going to be in a sea of sameness. Your Christmas card is never getting through, right? They're going to look at it and say, oh, great, this is... I send out Halloween cards to all of my clients and prospects. I send out Thanksgiving cards to all of my prospects. I send out July 4th cards and Valentine's Day cards. I also do Christmas cards because you have to, right? But right now, you're too late for Halloween unless you hear this. If we get it up today and you run to Kinko's to go buy some Halloween cards and get them out to people. But if not, you got to be thinking about Thanksgiving and getting Thanksgiving cards out to people. What are some other ideas that maybe are in that book or that you have that people should be doing for that?
Well, I wanted to mention a quick distinction. I think you were mentioning B2B versus B2C, and one thing that I've learned is, correct me if you think I'm wrong, Nick, but a lot of the B2C stuff actually does work in the B2B realm.
100%.
Ultimately, because you're still, maybe I'm sending it to a business, but who's the ultimate end user on that? It's still a guy like you and me.
It's people, right? And that's why you got to use Swipe and Deploy. Look at what they're doing and deploy that in. So I'd be running a Halloween promotion, right? Because everybody's going to be doing a Black Friday promotion, right? So that's going to get lost in the email, if you will. But I'd be doing a Halloween promotion, trick or treat, right? Tell me your favorite, guess which is your number one candy, and you get a 22% discount because 22% of Americans choose this as their number one candy, right? Or start doing something like that.
That's right.
Try to figure out, get the staff to dress up in costumes, right? Because people love dressing up in costumes. Take a picture of that. That goes in your newsletter, right?
Exactly.
Do a promotion. I do a bounce back, right? Halloween bounce back. Anybody that comes in gets this, and bring it in before Thanksgiving type thing. There is so many things that you could do to get people. Your newsletter should be all focused on this, right? And everybody should be doing a newsletter into people's homes. Salesmen should, if you're a local salesperson, you better be driving in your car in something memorable and passing out candy to your prospects and your clients, right? If you sell locally, right? If you have a geographical area that you farm, or if you have a territory that you farm,
that's right.
You better get them something. Get them some candy shipped out as fast as you can. I use fairy tale brownies for my clients, especially my clients that have kids.
Okay.
They all love them, right? And everybody loves fairy tale brownies. So how can I would have done a shock and awe package that was Halloween, right? A shock and awe package to get through with some candy and maybe, you could get stuff on Oriental Trading, right? That was, that's everybody's secret weapon to get, lumpy mail, right? Or you could go to the GKIC folks, magnetic marketing folks. We'll always call it GKIC because that's what it will be. But Travis Lee does a great job. Go see him. Go see Profit 911, Justin. Those two people do great jobs with lumpy mail, right? To get into the mailbox.
That's right.
There's a lot of things that you could do to really promote the Halloween holiday. And now, since it's only 6 days away, you got to start thinking about Thanksgiving. And I use it's probably in that book, the Thanksgiving card, right? Which is, the turkey with the sign that says, eat more beef, I think, or something like that. Still use that to this day. I think City Publications maybe still produces that. And you should, take a look at that or try Kia. And there's just so many nifty things that you could do and have that conversation with people because that's what's going on in their mind. So
100%. Hey, and what about this? Nick? If you're B2B and you've got a podcast, what if you did a Halloween themed podcast? That one episode.
Why not? Why? Right? If you had a podcast, why wouldn't you talk about Halloween and start out by playing?
I lost you on the mic.
The Monster Mash.
There we go. Absolutely. I was just going to tell you, when I produce this, I am going to make sure that there are some bona fide Halloween sound effects throughout this episode.
I appreciate that. Right. So
including
the Monster Mash
song. Yep.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the whole world says online. We talked about a lot of offline stuff, right? So swipe and deploy, do shock and awe, do Christmas cards, do Thanksgiving cards, do Halloween cards, right? Send care packages to your clients and their staff. Send care packages to your prospects. Nobody else is doing this on Halloween. Nobody else is doing this on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, you sell B2B, ship out pies, right? No one's doing this type of stuff. You just got to be creative and just, start brainstorming with your team or brainstorming with your partners or just listen to this over and over and over again. Get the products like we said.
And by the way, can we give a quick shout out to one of the kings of this stuff, by the way, that we haven't really given him enough credit yet as we've run this podcast, but Bill Glazer, man. Oh. Bill Glazer is, I was just going to mention, like, outside of the GKIC world, I didn't see a lot of this type of material that was educating and reminding people of the value of these types of opportunities. I think a lot of this actually did come from Bill.
Yeah, Bill Glazer and BG Marketing or BGM Marketing Systems. Bill Glazer owned a men's clothing store as well as he bought GKIC from Dan Kennedy, really grew GKIC to where it was, right? I mean, he was the master at it. And I think I agree with you, because he came from that retail environment. He was crazy smart, crazy creative, and just looking at all the stuff that he did and, was the master at building a list and mailing his list and emailing his list and putting calls into people, right? When you could do voice. So we think about it, you just talked about something that I wanted to hit on, but I do appreciate the call out. I know Bill's health isn't really all that great. I just kind of get from Mara's posts. Bill was a great entrepreneur, a great champion of small businesses, great champion of marketing. Coined the phrase that I still use to this day is being an entrepreneur is the loneliest place in the planet, right? Being a small businessman is lonely. Kind of created a community, which GKIC became. and really accelerated that growth. And I think I know Dan is, the godfather of the information marketing business, of copywriting, of all things direct response. But Bill Glazer is a close second, I think, because I think he really was the champ on that. And we'll send him a copy of this. We'll send Mara a copy of this. Hopefully he could still listen and let him know how much we love Bill. And I appreciate, Marco, you calling him out. And really is a great guy.
Absolutely.
Give you the shirt off his back. I mean, every minute I spent with him, I learned 15 things. So he was a great man.
And I want to just put this out there. After I bought this GKIC product, this was a while back. Obviously, that product is at least probably a decade or old. I got my hands on it and I went through it, and I noticed that one of the big things was that Bill Glazer had these multi-touch, multimedia campaigns that he would do for these holidays, right? Yep. And so that's where I said, I really need to swipe and deploy that concept. So I had a financial services business at that time, which I've told you about, Nick. Sure. And what I did was I built out a landing page, and the landing page was for a Halloween promotion, a special discount that you get, that's tied in with Halloween. The landing page was all, Halloween graphics and icons and pictures and all these kind of things, right? And then the thing that I was most proud of, that I still love to listen to from time to time, I went to Fiverr and I hired this guy that was a real deal bona fide voice actor. The guy's done some of these nationwide voiceovers, right, for big companies that related to Halloween. Matter of fact, if you listen to it, you'll probably actually recognize the guy's voice. It's like a familiar voice that
like an Edgar Allan Poe kind of one.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you listen to the thing, and you're like, I know this guy's done commercials that I've heard before. And the guy just went in and did the whole promotion, and he did the spooky thing, and he's, I will suck your blood and all these kind of cool things, right? But it's still tied in with my promotion and what I was selling. And then, of course, there was the email drips, and then there was a text message to say, hey, did you see it? So I touched him. And by the way, that was a voice broadcast that got sent out with that audio. Yeah. I got that 100% I got from Bill Glazer in this product. So my deploying that, actually, I mean, during that time period, we were going through some rough times. Those holiday promotions are what kept me afloat, it's because it would just be this injection of clients out of nowhere each time. So it has a capacity to save your ass, so to speak, and it also has the capacity to just simply grow and stay in front of your customer for unique reasons. So I'm a living example. This stuff works.
I love that. I love the multi-touches, right? Let's get a voiceover. I mean, Bill was big on that, taught that, right? Whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger or, somebody that is themed with a distinctive voice. So it's not just you. And I think the important thing is, I think the biggest sin, and I think Dan says this, but maybe Bill or others do, the biggest sin in marketing and advertising is being boring.
That's right.
It's doing the same thing as everybody else. That's right. It's not breaking through the clutter, and we want to be entertained. We are an entertainment derivative society. We get pleasure. We are Netflix and chill. We have presidential candidates, like them, don't like them. I'm not judging at all, but they are phenomenal show people. They are great at putting out a show. Look at the final push. They are filling up stadiums. They're going on podcasts. I didn't see anybody want to be on this one, but maybe we'll get them post-election, right? But they are doing it, so it's really, we want to be entertained as humans. We yearn for that. I think even post-COVID, we yearn for it even more. We learn from realizing that these are creative people that we do business with, and we like creative touches.
100%.
So great suggestion. Let's talk a little bit about where people spend their money, especially online. So if you're a retailer where you're trying to get the money, there's some that I didn't even think about. Okay. A lot of them, Amazon obviously number one, right? So 41% of all purchases are happening on Amazon. Google, right? So that's a close second. Yeah. Facebook is doing some stuff, but TikTok and Pinterest and YouTube are really a lot of spending come up from that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you 3 categories, right? So we're going to test Marco's knowledge
All
on
right.
Halloween costumes in 2023.
Oh my
In
gosh.
2023, what do you think was the number one child costume?
Oh man. I may bomb this, Nick, but the number one child
Think
costume,
of a superhero.
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man.
You got it. Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
All right.
All
And
right,
that's
second
my
category.
boys love Spider-Man. So
I
that
love
makes sense.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
I love Spider-Man too. I think they've done phenomenal with that character. I think that's one of the best characters up there.
Yep.
Second category is pets. What do you think the number one pet costume is?
I would think that it would be a cat.
Okay. It's a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
A pumpkin. So the pumpkin, the pet costume that's number one is a pumpkin. And what do you think it is for adults?
Probably a devil.
What witch? Close.
A witch. Okay.
Witch.
Yeah.
Witch.
The
There
good
is
old fashioned witch. Yeah, that's always been around.
Yep. All right, so we won't go through all of them. We won't go to the second level or third level. Ironically, I would have thought that this would have been higher last year because the movie was so big. Barbie was number 3 for adults and number 7 for kids.
Okay.
And I would have thought it would have been higher for both categories because of the fact that, that Barbie movie was so big, right?
Yeah.
So that's another theme that you could attach yourself to.
Yes.
Like you should have been doing Barbie. And so what's the hot movie of this year? I don't know if there's one yet, but you should have kind of been able to get up there.
Well, and I can say I saw a lot of stuff going on with the Ghostbuster franchise.
Okay.
They've revitalized that brand. They've come out with a couple of really cool movies recently, recent years, and that seems to be thriving again. They got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Matter of fact, I went to Krispy Kreme Donuts. They had a whole entire box that was just all Ghostbuster themed stuff. They had a Slimer. They had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I mean, it was really cool. It was really cool. And I bought a little half-size box, brought it home. My kids went nuts because we had just watched the latest Ghostbuster movie.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, that's smart. That's a smart marketer.
Very smart.
If you think about it, I saw this other stat out there. I don't believe it's just specific to Halloween, but it's overall in general. I think the pumpkin spice flavored items, I think it's like $12.2 billion worth of pumpkin spice that we're buying.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's pretty, so if you're B2B, try to figure out how to do something in pumpkin spice.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Oh, listen, folks. This is fun. It was great to go down memory lane. Great to go down memory lane to talk a little bit about a great GKC project, a great man and marketer and champion of small businesses and entrepreneurs, Bill Glazer. Obviously, we are standing on the shoulder of giants. These guys really were great marketers. We're just good ombudsmen, and we are good champions of their work, he and Dan and the rest of the GKC marketing folks. It was always fun to see people sending us their ideas because I am always amazed at the creativity and marketing geniuses of entrepreneurs, right? I think most big businesses are static, right? They're vanilla. Entrepreneurs could do some great stuff. I loved hearing what you did. That was a great case study. So if you listen to this and you're like, well, I can't use that in my business. Marco was in the financial services business and he did a marketing themed business that really, kind of was a cash flow surgeon.
Absolutely.
So all I want, folks, for you and all Marco want is we want to bring our ideas and share and talk about our passion. We love talking. This is a true sales maverick and marketing rebel thing to do is just go all in on the holidays. Exactly. And I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I know Marco did too. We're coming up on our 30 minutes. Here's what I want for you folks is just think outside the box on the holidays. Embrace the holidays and use them in your marketing and use them in your and use them always, right? But you got great holidays. You could Google all the different crazy holidays out there. You could Google all the different days, and don't be boring in your marketing. Be passionate about being a great marketer, being unique. Don't just do the same old, same old. Have fun, but most importantly, have a happy Halloween.
That's right.
Folks, listen, I love talking to you, Marco. This is like the highlight of my week when we get to do this. We're going to have some great guests coming up for you, but we wanted to go deep on Halloween on this one. And talk a little bit about that. So hopefully you got some great ideas and you could use them not only for next Halloween, but also in your Thanksgiving and also in your Christmas promotions.
That's it.
Marco, I see that we're at 30. I'm gonna thank the folks at Pina Colada Media. Is there anything you want to say before we hang up?
No, I just I agree with you. I look forward to this every week. It's kind of my dessert. It's so much fun talking about this stuff. I can do it all day. I can do it all night, but I never really get the chance to because we're busy grinding it out, going into the weeds. So when we can talk about this stuff, it's a blast. So a lot of fun. This was a great episode. Holidays are my favorite. And I love that you mentioned also, go into the deeper stuff. Go into the National Hot Dog Day. Go into the National Poodle Day. Like, it doesn't have to be the big guy stuff to really make a difference. All those things are out there. And I learned all of that from Planet Dan, GKIC.
Yeah. I mean, you should be looking at that. I think there's National Taco Day, right? You should be, just use these creative things to break through, and people will remember you in your marketing. And it may not be that they're going to buy from you today, though I wish they will, right? I hope all your closes are one-call closes, and everybody that opens up your email, you get 100% open up on your email and answer on your phone calls. It just doesn't happen, right? But you got to be planting the seeds. But most importantly, this show is created, one is to pay homage to some phenomenal marketers, bring them to you, talk about them so you could go out and study them, but also to teach you to be creative in your marketing, to be a maverick, to be somebody out there pushing the envelope at all times on your marketing, doing it tastefully, doing it respectfully, but doing it creatively and fun. And the cash register will ring, as Marco used a great case example in the financial services world. I actually got some financial services clients. We're too late for now, but we got to get them for Thanksgiving, and doing something so that you are focused on entering the conversation in the mind of the consumer, which is the holiday. You got to be talking about the World Series in your marketing. You got to be talking about college football. You got to be talking about Gilmore Girls if you're selling to females. You got to be talking about Hallmark holidays if you're selling to females, right? You got to be.
You can even talk about Trump and Kamala if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, you should
make it tongue in cheek. You can make it fun. You can poke fun at both of them.
I've seen some great email headlines. Which candidate is the best marketer, right? Who, I mean, there's some. I think you got to be studying. We'll do a deep dive once it's all over and all the Michigash kind of settles itself out. But this is a great case study on marketing. I hope everybody votes, right. Whoever you vote for, that's you, between you and the ballot. Vote for vote for your heart, vote for your head, vote for your pocketbook. However you vote is phenomenal. Just do it, right. But for a marketer, study this. Dan used to do always a phenomenal post election deep dive on how much do they spend per vote and what did I wonder if he still does that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean it's a marketing. They're the books that come out that are the post marketing books are the ones that I pour over. Politics aside, it's a marketing. It's like a 2-year marketing cycle, right? So I mean,
that's right. Why don't you and I tease that, Nick? Why don't we tease an upcoming podcast with you and I on Sales Mavericks, Marketing Rebels, where we're going to talk about the post effect of these, this election, and from a sales and marketing standpoint. We went over some of that already with how they did some of their conventions, but we can go into it a little bit more holistically after the fact when it's done. And I'll throw this out as a teaser. I'm noticing that we're at the finish line right now. We're almost done. The election's literally a week away. And I thought it was so interesting that the last final steps to get that final push seem to be coming from them going on podcasts.
I found that fascinating. I can't wait to read and study and go deep on that. I really have found that fascinating. And it's not just, I mean, obviously Rogan, I mean, he's the master. I think he's created this space, but she's going on Brene Brown, Not Your Daddy's podcast. I mean, they're really doing some unique things.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And these are not like, think about when you and I were growing up, Nick. We watched politics. They were going on Face the Nation.
Sure,
they were going on the shows that when I was a kid would have put me to sleep, right?
Right.
Now in 2024, they're on Theo Vaughn. They're on Rogan. They're on the other one that Kamala went on that you mentioned. These are not like formal shows, man. These are like have a blast, kick back, and say whatever the heck you absolutely want type podcasts. It just shows you how much everything has shifted.
Right. Yeah, it was avant-garde. I think the first ones to really push the envelope, my guess was the Clinton, right? Because they were listen, we're going to tease. We're going to talk about the election.
Going with this stuff, yeah.
We're going to talk about the election. We're going to talk about lessons learned, and then we'll do another one on the history of getting to the presidency and the marketing and all that, because it's a marketing campaign forever, right? So
that's right.
Let's talk a little bit about that. We could go deep on this, and before you know it, it's like 3 hours. We'll be like Joe Rogan, right?
That's right.
But we just love all things marketing, folks. I love you guys for listening. If you like this show, please do us a favor. Send it to a friend. Send it to 2 friends. Send it to 3 friends, right? The smartest thing I ever saw a political candidate do was George Bush II, right? The younger one was on David Letterman, looked him in the eye and said, "I'm asking for your vote. Will you vote for me?" Right? So I'm asking you people, if you like this, share it, give us a thumbs up, give us a great review. We want listeners. If you want us to interview somebody, give us a note, and maybe we will. But folks, most importantly, if you want a podcast, you got to talk to the folks at Pina Colada Media. They really make it easy. All you have to do is kind of come up with the theme, do your research, and then they take care of everything. They do it, and they make it phenomenal. I watch our podcasts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we look great. We sound great. It's phenomenal production. So if you want to have a podcast, everybody should have a podcast, because it makes you better at what you do. It connects you to people. It connects you to prospects. It connects you to audiences. We just talked about the media. The new media landscape is podcast, folks. So you should have it as part of your marketing mix. I believe every business owner can have one and could really serve their clients and serve their community. Reach out to the folks at Pina Colada Media. Pina Colada Media, they make it so easy for you. You will love it. And tell them that we sent you. Marco, till next week. Happy marketing, my man.
Happy marketing.
What are you dressing up as? I didn't ask you.
Oh man, maybe somebody from the Houston Oilers, like Warren Moon.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good one. I thought you were going to be a pumpkin, like we dress up our dog.
Maybe I'll put one of those tight Spider-Man suits on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, nobody wants to see me in one of those. So
we'll be the husky version. Yeah.
Yep. All right, my man. Well, you have a good cigar this weekend, and I will have one, and I'll think of you, and I look forward to talking to you next week.
Sounds great. Take care, Nick.
Thanks for tuning in to Sales Mavericks and Marketing Rebels. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Keep pushing the limits in your business. And remember, the Mavericks and Rebels are always ahead of the game. Catch you next time.